Hi guys, this is a special in English of Creativerse, and I did something which I wanted to show you. I already did this in German, but I also want to show it to the other people out there. And this is a secret base entrance, together with a locked door and everything together working quite nice, except for one drawback which I will explain later. And it requires some of the technological pieces, not all of them which are around them, but some of them which are available in Creativerse. Let me just first demonstrate it, and then afterwards I will explain how it works. So I approach my secret base, and then there's an entrance. That door is locked, so I have to enter my code. Oh, it's a wrong code. Okay. And you already see some logic going on there. Then if I enter the right code, I can go in. And the door closes again. Mr. Piggy has nothing to do with the logic or anything else, just to keep you informed. So, going out is the same. You pressure plate, and you're out. And that's it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. No, not really. It took me a long time to figure everything out. And I want to tell you a little bit about how this works. So let's take a look first at the first part, which is this side. And let's remove those blocks. Which is the, let's hide all the connections, which is the part with the blocks going away. Blocks going away can be done with the block phaser. If you look into it, you can select which blocks you want to access. And if you then power it, the blocks go away. And if you then depower it, so disable it, the blocks are there. That's quite easy. It has a limited range, so it's okay. Triggering is done with this sensor. You see the location where it will trigger, and you can take a look and put in the height of 3, and not only players can trigger it, and it has a message. So the message will come when you stay in there. That's why you see it when you go outside also. As long as you stay in the sensor, this thing is open. If you go out, it comes back again. So that's the first part. Quite easy. And then when you want to go out, you also need to trigger it from the pressure plate. And now comes a tricky part, which I'll explain a bit later more in detail. That's why we have this delay gate and the logic gate. The delay gate is quite easy. It just has a delay of 0.5 seconds. This is just that the blocks disappear a little bit later than the door opens. So if you don't do the delay and if you rush through it, the blocks are already shimmering back when you are in this wall. If you have the delay, they are shimmering back when you are behind the wall. So especially if you want to have a farther distance, you need to increase the delay. That's the reason for the delay. This one, the logic gate, that is configured with an OR, that is for something which I found out and I will show you later on. There's a problem with Creativerse and automatically figuring out kind of what you want to do, which is not correct. Let's try it this way. Could be, yeah. So let's say I want to connect this with this connection and this also with that connection. That works. Okay. right? Let me show you guys. So now you place another, not a delay gate. This one. Oops, come on. Piggy, let's go. You put in another gate, put in another switch, and say, okay, come on. Let me connect this one to you. Okay, that's it. But now when you go and connect this one to this one, and there it is, it also connects this one. Creativerse is a little bit, yeah, I don't know, and it disconnected this one, that's another point. It's a little bit tricky, because it assumes because this is connected to this, and this is connected to this, hey, you want to redo this. But it's not what we want. We only want to have this input and this input to this one and not this one. And similarly, it's just an example. That's the same here. I want to have the pressure plate connected here to the block phaser, but I don't want to have the number pad. And if I don't use this logic gate, but directly go from the pressure plate to the phaser, it also connects to the number plate to it, which I don't want. And that's why I put in the logic gate with the OR. That's the reason for the logic gate. Only because of this automatic linking of things you don't want. And the other part, which is tricky, as you have seen, it broke the connection to here. So you can try to redo this, and it breaks it to the others, because it assumes, hey, yeah, this is single and that's something else. A way around this is, I think at least, is to go this way, go from the receive and then you have to go here again. Yeah, it doesn't work. Oh, wait. There's a way. I think I had it at least last time. Like, it's tricky. So be prepared to fiddle around, and this is what kept me busy creating this. So logic gate as an OR, just to be able to combine two signals into one, especially if that one signal is going into different directions, like you know with the pressure plate. So let's take a look at the second part of the circuit, which is this part. It's the door opening. So you have a number pad, and in there I have a reset time of 6. The reset time is important because if you enter the code and the door opens and the door closes again, you cannot enter the same code again. Or you can, but nothing happens. You have to then enter a different code. To get around this, I have this auto reset time. From there, we have an input into this number comparison gate. And in the number comparison gate, we say a value equals 23. That's the code you want to have, so 1, 2, 3, 2, whatever. And then if that's okay, it's sending it to the logic gate, and the logic gate is there because I also have the pressure plate, which is sending it to the logic gate. It's again just there to combine the two inputs with the door, and that opens the door. If I wouldn't do this, it would then connect everywhere again where the number plate is connected, or the pressure plate, which I don't want. So that's for the door opening. quite easy, simple logic. Yes. By the way, if you only want to have, if you want to have a sensor here to open it, and the pressure plate here to open it, you can use the sensor and the pressure plate and combine it directly with the door. There's nothing else you need to do. But with the number gate, it's a little bit more complicated. So that's the other part. And now comes the wrong code part. The wrong code part is this sensor. It just, when it's active, it shows the message, right? And nothing else. It doesn't sensor anything. It's just being toggled on and off with this line. So this line is being triggered by the number pad. And now there's another thing which is strange, at least for me. By default, the signal in Creativerse is 0, and then it goes up, and after a certain time it goes back again to 0. So when you enter a code, it's getting transmitted, the signal goes up, and then it goes down again. And every time when the signal goes up or the signal goes down, those blocks trigger. For this, that's not a problem. He is comparing it with 23, so the default is false. This guy is a problem. He's saying, oh, everything, if it's not 23, output something. And then it says it's false, but that's wrong. It must be, it's equals. I don't know. So the behavior is that if it's not 23, he says true, and that triggers this flip-flop gate. And this flip-flop gate goes out and toggles the sensor on, so it displays the message. But directly afterwards, there's a second impulse, again triggering the flip-flop gate, so putting it back into the place where it was before. So there's nothing you need to do to disable the sensor again. The flip-flop gate is fine because this thing triggers twice when you enter one code. And that's what kept me quite busy figuring out. And this is also why the logic is a little bit harder here, because stuff gets triggered twice for whatever reason. So watch out for breakage if that is behavior is changed anytime. So wrong code works fine. This is a reset switch. If this is on for whatever reason and it needs to get off again, I can reset it with this one. Just toggle it, switch it off, switch it on again. So I have to trigger the true again. And then this is being reset. So that's just a reset switch. Now comes the issue when you enter the right code. And let me show you. Because I did that by purpose. So you go in, open Sesame, you put in the code, and you can take a look. So it works, it does something, and now it triggers again. Take a look there, that's the second time it triggers. And then it's now disabling it. But if you enter the right code, and the door opens, but the sensor also starts again. For whatever reason, this check the wrong code triggers when it's done checking again the signal. And that's why I said there's always a signal being triggered at the end of the checking. So if I put in the right code, the sensor would be on normally. And this is being fixed with this one. So if this is true, it goes into a delay gate with 1.5 seconds, and this will then trigger the true to the flip-flop gate again, resetting it. So that there is this little time frame when you go in and you put in the right code, if it stays too long, you see that it's wrong code nevertheless showing up. I haven't figured out yet how to not trigger this if it's the right code, because this is behaving strangely. Yeah. Nevertheless, I think it's a quite nice build. You can make it a little bit more compact, of course, or hide it beneath, or put it a little bit farther away. I have no idea how far you can go. Or if you need to be in the same block or whatever, but yeah. The secret base. But not just a secret entrance, but also a locked entrance. By the way, locking a door works with the glove. You press enter, you can say, can enter it and remove that one. Yeah, and there's no way out. So if somebody comes here by mistake, he needs to teleport away. Or you can put in a deadman switch, but who cares? They can teleport. Leave the switch alone, Pixie. Yeah, and wrong code. The right code. Yeah, the secret base, locked door with a number pad. And out is just good. And everything by magic. If you like this, leave a like. At the moment I don't do anything except mod spotlights or stuff like this in English. If there's a need for a series in English, I can be asked for it. I would gladly do a series in English. But yes, I hope this was informational, fun, nerdy enough for some people. And I hope you enjoyed it. Take care. Bye.